Sports Cards. Get at it.
Hey, it's a little Flavo. Hey, it's with Dr. John Peterson here. TE2 Edge Sports Cards coming at you live and direct. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hope everybody's doing well out there. It is Sunday, December 15th in the morning, and thought I'd do a pre-grade here. I'll edit this in, and then in a couple months do the grade reveal for this submission. Mostly Michael Jordan cards. They come from a couple of different lots, 4 different lots, and I can break that down for folks. There are 39 cards in the submission at $19 per card, $18.99. So I'm not going to wait for a special on this one. Just want to get these going. Grading fee would be about $740 plus $50-$60 to ship. That puts my grading fees and shipping right at about $800. I estimate the pre-grade value is right around $7,000, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. Obviously, it depends on how the grades come out, which cards. Total outlay, I'm looking at about $46.55. That includes the cost of the lots. There were 4 different lots. One was a binder, another one was a partially graded, partially non-graded lot, and then a raw lot, and then some boxes that I ripped. So outlay was about $46.55. There were 2 graded cards that I purchased in one of the lots. Got the SPX 97 die cut gold in a 9, and got the Ultimate Collection numbered in a 9. So I figured these are worth about $750. So that adds to the value. So that puts the value up right around $7,750. So that would be the 2 graded cards and then everything that's in this stack here. Times 0.85, which is eBay fee, 15% typically. We're looking at $67.87.50 in terms of net to me, and then $46.55 would be the cost on the cost side, the outlay side. So looking at about $2,000 to $2,500 in estimated profit off of this submission. So this will be one of the bigger efforts I've put together in the last couple of years, getting a little bit better at this, and hopefully we can minimally make $1,000 off this, and if possible more. So probably could make a little more in the margin side if I didn't submit some of these first first 10 cards or so, but I don't know, kind of want to get them slabbed up and see how it goes. So first card is 2006 Hoops Fleer Jordan Kobe 8. This is a 2006, 2007, no, 2006 Reflections, probably an 8. Holographics Maximum, thinking this is going to come back as an 8. Champion Spirit, 98 Topps Chrome, thinking 9. Got an SPX die cut, silver or base. I think it's going to be a 9. Upper Deck Class C1, PSA 9. Holding Court Jordan Glenn Robinson, I think this is 98, PSA 8. Numbered though, wanted to get it graded. 96-97 Hardwood Leader, thinking this is going to be a PSA 8 or a 9. I'm going to go 9. Upper Deck Hard Court, this looks pretty clean to me, but there's a little ding up there, so PSA 9. 95 SP Jordan Silver, 9. Now showing Upper Deck, PSA 9. Green StarQuest 98 Upper Deck Collector's Choice, PSA 9. I'd say a 10, but this little corner down here has got a little tick on it. Showstoppers, thinking this is going to be a PSA 10 with the peel on. Franchise best looks pretty clean. Thought this was going to be a PSA 10. Comes back in a 10. It's a nice card. Like to say this could be a 10. I think it looks really clean. I don't have any issues with it. There doesn't seem to be any scratching at all. PSA 10 comes back as a $1,200 card, but I think it's probably going to be a PSA 9. Which drops it down to like a $75 card, which is hard to believe. Kinetics. Ionics Kinetics. I think this is going to be a PSA 10. History class. I think this is going to be a PSA 9. Just there's so much foil hollow on it. But I'd like to see it come back as a 10. The back of the card is white, so this die cut teammates. I think it's going to be a PSA 10. That's an upper deck card. Topps Chrome 40. I think it's going to be a PSA 10. I think it's come back about a $400 card. I think the back looks really clean. The corners look good. I don't see any issues with it. UD3 96. Peeled it a couple weeks back. I think it's going to be a 10. And this Upper Deck non-playing days card, I think it's going to be a 9. It's a huge card. Comes back in a 10, which I think it will. It's going to be a $400 or $500 card. I'm calling this a 10. Looks really good to me. Golden Season. It's like 95 tops, 94 tops, 96 tops, excuse me. Real disappointed in this card. Bought it. It was angled a little bit so I couldn't see, but there's a blotch. I don't know if you can see it. It's right up here, just off the right of his head. You can kind of probably see it now. Probably going to be a PSA 7. I was hoping for a 9, but probably going to be a 6 or 7. Probably I'm going to go 7. And Fuego, let's say PSA 9 on this one. It's got a print line down the right-hand side. Topps Finest 94. I think it's going to be a PSA 10. Like this card, I think it's going to, well, PSA 9. It's upper left-hand corner. PSA 9 on that. EX 2000. This is the cleanest copy I've had. I've not seen a cleaner copy other than my CSG 10. I think this is going to come back as a 9 though, but a 10 would be wonderful, obviously. Total D from 93 Fleer? Yeah, 93 Fleer Total D. Super condition sensitive card. PSA 8. Picked this Beam Team up as part of a lot that included this graded card and the die cut. I thought this one looked, yeah, this one's the better of the two. I'm thinking this one's going to be a PSA 9. Good card in PSA 9. Beam Team from a different lot. I think this is going to be an 8, maybe even a 7. Really tough to say on these cards. I'm thinking PSA 10. PSA 9. It's going to be a 10. And I'm really hoping this comes back as a 10, because this is the most rare of the 3 cards in the panel. This comes back as a 10. It's a $1,000 card. So, got to win on this one. We've got the Meltdown. This is a 95 Series 2 Premium. Skybox Premium Series 2. Meltdown, I'm thinking a PSA 8. The front looks really clean. I've looked at it multiple times. Don't see any scratches. I don't see any nicks on the corners. Obviously, the back has the edging issues, but overall, I think it looks really good. So I think that's going to come back as an 8. This Shack was out of a box I pulled, a recent box I ripped and pulled out. This card, I think it's going to be an 8 or a 9 because it's got some stuff on the surface. That's a Power Zone 95-96 Topps Stadium Club Power Zone. This is a 95-96 Topps Stadium Club Power Zone 2X or X2. This one looked good to me. I think it's going to be a 10. Golden Moments, I think it's going to be a 10. Not a big card though. Topps Stadium Club 96-97 Kobe rookie. Got an issue down here. I think it's going to come back as a 9. And the last card of the sub is a Kobe rookie. Same card. I think it's going to come back as a 10. This is 10, it's a big card, $400 card. So overall, that's what I'm thinking. Again, there's 39 cards in the submission. $19 a card, which I don't typically like to do. Typically like to wait for a special that gets it down to 16. But, you know, 40 cards approximately times $3 is $120 extra. So plus the timing of it, I need to get these back by March. Got a big show in April coming up here in Minnesota, and want to make sure I have all my inventory ready to rock and roll for that show. Yeah, so about $800 on the grading and the shipping. I think the value could be anywhere from $6,500 to $8,000, maybe even $9,000 if I hit a couple big ones. Outlay is about $46.55. When you subtract the total value times 0.85 and subtract that from the outlay, we're looking at about a $2,132 profit. So it'll be really interesting to see when I do the next video, or edit in the second half of this video, how close I am on these. So, all right, take care. Peace out. One love. All right, we're ready to do the reveal. I hope you all had a chance to watch the first half of the this video here. Just a reminder that the sub went in on 12/15, and I got it yesterday, actually, which was the 24th of February. So I figured I would do the reveal here and let you know how I did. And I think overall the sub went, well, I'm not going to tell you how it went. You can have the satisfaction of getting a chance to take a look at how I did, and, you know, give me your thinking and feelings on that. Please like, subscribe, and if you haven't had a chance, maybe make a comment. I'd love to hear from you, and what you thought of the video, what you thought of the reveal. As always, looking to buy Kobe and Jordan collection, so if you got anything, let me know. RJP7227 at yahoo.com. That's RJP7227 at yahoo.com. Hit me up if you get a chance. Otherwise, yeah, let's see what we got. Let's see how this went. All right, so the first card is 2005 Hoops Jordan and Kobe. So Kobe's on the card. I had this pegged as an 8, and it came back as an 8. So spot on with that one. I got $85 on this. Next card is a 2006 Upper Deck Reflections. I had this as an 8. I thought that the card looked really good, but had some issues on the back, and it came back as a 9. So not a super valuable card, $50 as a 9. Next one, we've got the 1999 Upper Deck Holographics Max. Looked at this pretty closely. The back looked good, but there's some stuff on the front, so I pre-graded this as an 8. It came back as an 8. I'm just thinking the scratching and whatnot on the surface, so $20 card there. Next one is the 1998 Topps Chrome Champion Spirit. I had this as a 9. I thought it actually could be a 10, but I put it as a 9. In a 10, it's about a $400 or $500 card, I think, which is hard to believe, but I ended up getting an 8 on it. So as an 8, that's a $30 card. So far, pretty spot on, but not making a lot of profit here, so that's okay. Cards will come and cards will go. It's the way it goes. Next card is a 1997 SPX, excuse me, Jordan. I had a 9 on this. Came back as an 8. $35 card. Next card, Upper Deck Class C1 MJ. I had this as a 9. Really cool looking card. Came back as a 9. Yeah, I thought that was a sweet card. This is the 1998 Upper Deck Hardcourt Jordan Holding Court. This is the red. You can see the red there, numbered. I don't remember, this numbered 2,000 or 3,000 or something like that. Pretty pretty high number. I had this as an 8, and it came back as a 9, which I thought was pretty good for a thicker card. So a little undergraded on this one, $50. Next card, 1997 Flair Hardwood Leaders. First time I've ever graded this card. I had it as a 9, and you know, these are hard to grade. These are hard to get as 10s. That's what I found out. I've done a lot of the 96s, 3 or 4 of them, and I've never gotten a 10. So I figured this would be a 9, and it came back as a 9. So it's about $80 card as a 9. That's a sweet, sweet image. Got the lightning in the background and the clouds. That's just really, really cool card. And the centering's off left to right. You can see that right away. So, all right, next one, Upper Deck Hard Court Jordan. Well, these are all Jordans. Well, almost all Jordans. There's some Shaq and Kobe at the end, as you saw in the pre-grade video, or pre-grade portion of this video. Upper Deck Hard Court 98 Jordan. I had this as a 9, which I'm happy with. That's cool. $45 card. It's a 9. This is the 94 SP Jordan Silver. He's back. I had this as a 9. This is probably the cleanest copy I've seen of this card. I've had it a few times. Usually it's the edging, or the edging is chipped. Had it as a 9, came back as an 8. Yeah, not really sure what to do about this one. It's tough. It's a really tough card. Not sure why it's so hard to grade. Or hard to get in a good grade. Now showing, very, man, impossible. I mean, there's a couple little things in the back, nothing major. I had this as a 9, and this is the 1999 Upper Deck now showing. Very cool card. Looks like the poster for a movie. Came back as a 9. Yeah, really cool card. So had it as a 9, came back as a 9. Next one, Green Stark. Oh, that is a $65 card. $65. So nothing really over $100 so far. This is the 1998 Upper Deck Choice StarQuest Green. Not the blue and not the gold. The gold is a tier 1 hierarchy card. I had this as a 9, and it came back as a 9. So in a 9, that's a $175 card. If I remember right, there was something in the bottom left corner. You can see down there, that little white tick down there. Next one, Showstoppers. I actually took the peel off this one, and this is the 97 Finest. I had this as a 10. I thought it was a pretty high gem rate. Thought it was going to come back as a 10, and swung and missed on this one. Came back as an 8. So overgraded by 2, $15 card. Next one is the 1998 Bowman's Best franchise best. I thought this card looked so good. I mean, it's just like, I looked it over and over, and black back, but looks clean. Didn't see anything on the surface. Just, I don't know, thought it was a 10. Came back as a 6. So that's the way it goes, man. I don't know. I guess those are dimples over there. Maybe that's a dent. Yeah, maybe I missed that right there. You can see that right there. So maybe that was it. I don't know. If that is, it's got the correct grade. So surface will kill you, especially on these chrome cards. If you have any dents or, you know, anything like that, dimples, forget it. So that's maybe a $35 card and a 6. Oh, geez. That card's a 10. Probably about an $800-900 card. Next one, familiar one, 97 Flair Showcase Row 3. Had this as a 9. Man, I thought this looked so good. Came back as an 8. So probably some scratches on the front, as is the case with a lot of these Finest cards or Flair cards. So yeah, it's still a cool card. 8. In an 8, that is a $55 card. So I just want to share something with you guys. So this stack that we've gone through, I front loaded the order with the cards that I thought were going to have lower grades. I did them in order of newest to oldest, but this was the end. This was the last card of the order of the ones that I thought were not likely to get 10s. I mean, like, I predicted how many 10s in this first part of the order. I don't think I predicted more than one. Just looking back here. Yeah, I had the finest as a 10, but everything else I had as a 9. Oh, and I had the Bowman's Best Franchise as a 10. So the only two cards that I thought were going to be 10s were the 97 finest and the Bowman's Best, which actually happened to be two cards that I overgraded considerably. So just be aware of that. Now, the rest of these cards are cards that I thought were in better condition overall, and there's about the same stack, maybe a couple more. So strategically, I did have some strategy this time that I employed that it was a little bit different than the prior orders. Okay, next one is a 1998 Upper Deck Ionics Kinetics. I had this as a 10, came back as a 9. Looks like the card turned out pretty good. I mean, I couldn't really say what the issue is. Probably on the back, maybe down that bottom right corner. It's got the black, maybe up in the upper right hand corner too. So would have been nice in a 10, but $55 as a 9. Next one is 1999 Upper Deck History Class. I had this as a 9. I thought the white gave me a good shot. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'll get lucky to get a 10. Got a 10. All right, so we got our first 10, which isn't too bad. I mean, this card refracts just amazing. Amazing card. And in a 10, this is a $425 card. So pretty solid there. Next card is 1997 Upper Deck Teammates. Again, it's Jordan, of course. I had this as a 10. Thought it looked really good for a die cut, and it came back as a 10. So this card is a bigger card. This is an $800 card in a 10. Not entirely sure why. Probably a lower pop count would be my guess. But super excited about this. To come back as a 10 is good. Next one, 1997 Topps Chrome 40. I had this as a 10, which would have been pretty amazing considering the entire back of the card is damn near all black, at least on the edges and the corners. Would have been a pretty good card in a 10. Came back as a 9. Yeah, probably something on the surface a little bit. Usually if it comes back as a 9, it's something on the corners or the edge, one of the edges, you know, a little chip, a little something like that. If it's surface stuff, usually you get hammered. So as a 9, though, this card is still $120. So we're doing pretty good. This card is a 96 UD3 Jordan. I had this as a 10. I thought it looked really, really nice. I took the peel off it and it looked perfect. Back looked great. Came back as a 6. So this is the third 10 that I predicted that has been overgraded by at least 2 grades. I had one that was an 8 that I thought was a 10. I had one that was a 6 that I thought was a 10. Now I have another one that's 6 that I thought was a 10. So I don't know what's up with that. It's surface. It's got to be surface. So when I look at the surface of this one, God, I don't immediately see anything, but that doesn't mean there isn't anything there. So I don't know if that scratch is on the card or if that could be on the card. Let me look. Yeah, it's so hard to tell once it's encased. So 6, that's pretty much a worthless card. $10 at the most. Next card is the 95 SP Jordan. Just really like the image on this card. He's dunking, and not surprisingly. And had this as a 9. Came back as a 9. So not a terribly rare card, but just a sweet photo. And I think as a 9, this is a $55 card. So you're doing okay. I mean, I got it for like $5. It wasn't very expensive. It was part of a binder that I bought. Next card. This is the 96 Topps Finest NBA Stars. Had a lot of high hopes for this card. Thought the back looked great, you know, with that kind of orange, yellow, gold back. Pretty big card overall. I mean, not huge, but a good card. And thought it was really looked good. I had it as a 10 and came back as a 10, baby. Yeah, pretty excited about that. $420 in a 10. Now there's a chrome version of this. I don't have the chrome version, or maybe it's a refractor. Might be a refractor. Obviously that's worth a lot more, but to have that come back as a 10, this is a 29-year-old card, so I thought that was pretty sweet. This next one really chaps my hide. You know, I said in the first part of the video that they tilted the card so you couldn't see the blotch on it, which really just irritated the shit out of me. I tried to get a refund or return the card, but it didn't work out, so ended up getting it graded. I'll take a loss on this, and it's just the way that it goes. But this came back as a 7, and I had it as a 7. And you can see that huge blotch right there up to the right of his head. So yeah, this card, what is it worth? In a 7? $300? No way. $300 in a 7? Yeah, well, maybe so. These are hard cards to hit. I hit a Duncan out of a pack last summer, a hardwood honors, and I think the pack outs are pretty high. You know, not easy to hit a hardwood honors card and insert like this. So yeah, $300, I'll take it. It means I'm losing maybe 150 on it. Next one, 96 Topps Season's Best in Fuego. I had it as a 9. I saw that there was a print line down the bottom, right side of the card, pretty obvious, and it came back as a 9. You can see the print line there. You just got it. There it is. See that right there? Yeah, print line, if it's not totally egregious, is a single grade. So otherwise, this was a 10. And this card seems to have print lines, because I've seen other versions, other ones of this card, and it usually has a print line down the left or down the right. And that is a $200 card in a 9, which isn't too bad. Oh, let's see here. Next, we've got 94 Topps Finest. I originally had this as a 10, but then I changed my mind and switched it over to a 9. If you look up here, there's a little bit of a scratch or just a ding in that upper left-hand corner. As a 10, this is like an $800 card. So what did I get? Got a 9. And a 9, it's a $175 card. So I did hit the mark on this one. Next one, 96 Skybox EX2000. Thought this was a 9. Thought it looked really clean. Thought the centering might have been a little bit off left to right. Yeah, but you can see there's like little tiny micro scratches. So came back as an 8, which actually isn't too bad for this card because it's so condition sensitive. I mean, probably a single grade for the left to right. Not really sure about the top to bottom, and then they're always going to find something with these cards. $100 as a 9. This is one of the older cards in the sub. It's a 1992 Fleer Total D. Super condition sensitive card. Thought it was an 8. Came back as an 8. You can see the centering is a little bit of an issue, but still, as an 8, it's a $200 card. So you can see I'm just starting to pick up a little momentum here, just chipping away at it. The outlay was pretty high. So next one is Beam Team 93 Beam Team. Had it as a 7. Came back as a 7. So, yeah, it is what it is. It's a 7. That's a $90 card. And then the next one I had was a Beam Team. No, I'm sorry. This one was a 9, and it came back as a 7. Sorry about that. About a $90 card, $100 card. And this one I had as a 7, and it came back as a 7. So I overgraded this first one by 2. I was right on the mark with this one. Again, maybe 60, 70 bucks. Yeah. Or no, is it 90 bucks? I had 90 on there. Yeah, so it's 90 bucks. So believe it or not, in a 7, these are $90 cards. Kind of hard to believe. All right, next one. This is the UD3, 97 UD3 MJ3 panel series. This first one is card number 1. I had this listed as a 10. This is the least expensive and the least rare of the 3 cards. Came back as a 9. Really sweet card, though. I mean, what an awesome looking card. 110 bucks in the 9. Next one is the same series, UD3 MJ3, card number 2. I had this as a 9. I thought it looked really good, but didn't think it was a 10. And it came back as a 10. 10, baby. Yeah, so this is about an $800 card. Yeah, $650 to $800. Yeah, not too bad. We got another one of these, same card, number 2. I thought this one was a 10, and felt pretty confident about this second one. And, so I put the one that I thought was the 9 first, and put the one that I thought was the 10 second. This came back as a 10, as you can see. So that's also, again, 800 bucks. So really happy about that one. So these two, as 10s, it's 1,500, 1,600 bucks. So that helps out significantly. This was a nice card. I thought this was a 10. I was really hoping for it. It's the rarest of the 3 in the panel. It's card number 3. In a 10, it's a $1,000 card. And I thought this one looked as clean as the other ones. Yeah, so it came back as a 8. So probably about a $200 card in an 8, unfortunately. So, yeah, it's the way it goes. This was kind of the make or break card of the order. Not the make or break card, but one of the cards in the order that could have really pushed it over the edge if it had been a 10. If that had been a 10, that's $1,000, and it came back as an 8. It's 200 bucks, so $800 difference. You win some, you lose some. This is the, oops, sorry, I'm gonna get my sheet here. This is the Skybox Premium Meltdown. This is probably my first or second favorite Jordan inserts from 95 Skybox. Man, this card in a 10 is a $28,000 card. $28,000 for this in a 10. 9, man, I don't even know. It's probably a couple, 2-3 grand. I thought this was an 8. I picked this up in a lot. I think it was with those Beam Team cards and maybe something else. I can't remember exactly. There were like 5 cards in the lot. And I got the whole lot for like $1,000. So I figured this was probably, $500 in the order, in the lot, cost-wise. I thought it was an 8, and it came back as an 8, which I'm super excited about. That's awesome. What a great looking card. Just an amazing looking card. That foil front is so tough to grade. I thought the front looked just unbelievably good. And the back, of course, has the edging down the right and down the left. Or right and the top. So, it's kind of one of those things where you're just going to have to get what you get. In an 8, though, this is a $1,000 card. $900 to $1,000. So, did really well on this one. Next card is a Shaq card, of all things. It's a 1995 Stadium Club Power Zone. Pulled this out of a box that I picked up. I thought it was going to be an 8, and it came back as an 8. Yeah, just too much going on with this card to get any higher grade than that. $35 card. This is 95 Stadium Club X2X2. This is also a Shaq. I thought this was a 10, believe it or not. I thought the back and the front looked really good. You got Patrick Ewing and Shaq there. Pretty sweet photo on the back. And I thought this was a 10, and it came back as a 10. Gem in 10. That's about a $200 card there. Yeah, sweet photo of Shaq Duncan. This card is a 96 Stadium Club Golden Moments. Man, I've said this card in a couple times, I think. I thought it was a 10. For sure, I thought it was a 10, and it came back as a 9. And a 9 is only a $25 card. Not a super valuable card in a 10, but I thought it looked good. Thought it looked 10 worthy. Last two cards of the order. We've got a 1996 Stadium Club Rookies 1 Kobe, and I thought this was a 9. Came back as an 8. So, yeah, put the worst of the two, because there's another one that's the last card in the front. And then this last one, I thought this last one was going to be a 10. Felt pretty confident that it looked really good, and it came back as a 10. That's a $450, $500 card in a 10. All right, so that's the order. And let's take a look on how I did. I had the estimated value for the order at, let me put this up here. I had the estimated value of the order at $7,460 for the EV. The final value based on, excuse me, the final value based on, you know, the value that I found in Card Ladder was $7,630. So I was off by about $170. So the estimated value, I was off by 77460. Final value was 7630. I think that's pretty good. If you do the multiplication, eBay fee, all that sort of jazz, I had the estimated profit, if you remember at the beginning of this video, at $2,132. And I had the final profit come in at $1,995, basically $2,000. So I was off on the estimated profit by, about $130, $140. So overall, I think that's pretty darn good in terms of predicting the estimated value versus the final value, and the estimated profit versus the final profit. How did I do percentage-wise? Pre-grade versus real grade. I had 19 of 39 cards correct for a 49% correct rate, which is pretty good. I think anytime you're hitting over 50% correct on the pre-grade compared to the final grade, you're doing pretty darn good. I overgraded a little higher than I'd hoped. I had 15 of the 39 were overgraded, which equals to 38%, although that's significantly less than the last order that I put in, that I revealed just yesterday. Yeah, 38%. I'd like to keep that under 25%. You know, 1 in every 4 cards overgraded, I'm okay with, but anything more than that, it's kind of tough. And then undergraded had 5 of 39, which is 13% were undergraded. Overall, I'm really pleased with this sub. I think I made about $2,000 off this sub. So, you know, $2,000 on an outlay of, what was the outlay again? $4,600, $4,500. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think that's a pretty good return on the investment. So, of course, you got to sell all the cards. Cards are only worth what someone's willing to pay for them. But given that it's Jordan, I'm not too worried about it. These cards will sell. All right, thanks for watching. I appreciate you sticking in there and hanging in there with the two parts of the video, and I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching TE2 Edge Sports Cards. Take care, peace out, and one love.